Hi. Blocking in this case is where the actors are positioned in any given scene to deliver their performances, if not their lines. This will often be driven by whatever happens in the scene. If someone is going to creep up and stab their victim, then you know they aren't likely going to be standing still to deliver those lines, but moving through the room, through the frame, and that's going to dictate to a great degree how it's shot. Depending on the shot, the frame, the lens, the dolly or jib move, blocking can be very much dictated by the camera. But different directors are going to have their own taste in what they want. Going on from the previous lesson, blocking can also be dictated by the characters and their intentions or motivations. If our guy knows persuading his partner about Cancun is going to be a hard sell, perhaps simply moving to the fridge and getting some water isn't going to do the job. Instead, he goes to the fridge, gets water, plus her favourite tipple, then takes it over to her with his dressing gown seductively open and doesn't actually ask the question until he's caressing her neck and sat in her lap. Now, does he go into the room knowing he's going to get her drink as well? Or does it only occur to him once he looks at her on the sofa or once he's noticed her drink there in the fridge? So these things can become more and more layered the more you study the scenario. Knowing what we do about who they are, what they want, and how the other person might receive that information or request. By the same token, I'd advise that it's important not to rehearse the scene over and over before shooting it, because there's a lot to be said for catching the spontaneity, those early takes. So discussions about actions and intentions can happen over a rehearsal table, and ideas for blocking can be ascertained without actually needing to act the scene out. Then, on set, the actors can merely go through the motions of the scene, how he enters the kitchen, maybe how and when he turns his attention to her, when he speaks, whether or not he goes over to her, and how he then exits. The other bonus to rehearsal walkthroughs is, of course, thoughts about how you want to light it, how to position the boom, exactly what to do with the camera. Meanwhile, the actors can go and get changed, sort out hair and makeup and relax, play poker, whatever. Alternatively, they can stand in and help with the lighting, etc. Only once the film set is set up do the actors need to come back in though and run the scene properly, without having lost the immediacy and newness of the scene with too much repetition. Thereafter, if they're confident with their lines, why not shoot the first proper rehearsal? After all, there's no expensive film stock in the camera, and those first reactions, that freshness, is all there to be caught. If there's been too many takes for reasons unforeseen, maybe technical, maybe someone keeps fluffing their lines, whatever, it's still very possible to alter not the lines themselves, but the actions to the same lines, and this can precipitate the freshness that we're looking for in the performance. I remember Andrew Lincoln telling me some years into The Walking Dead that he could see from working on Offending Angels that he was always better in the early takes. It was clear to me very early on. He went on to make it mandatory that actors coming to his Walking Dead set be off book before shoot. Too often, particularly with Americans for some reason, they're disposed to prefer a long run-up, learning their lines and warming up with a bunch of takes before really letting loose. But that wasn't going to work for Andy, and in this case where he's the money, then everyone else needs to play to his tune. It's not precious. It's making the best TV show he can make by maintaining the quality. The workload on those guys, especially the leads, is immense. He's not even acting in his own accent. So carrying the show, he earns his crust.